Clemson, little old Clemson. This is a big deal for Dabo Swinney's program. I don't know. This is a big deal. His program has been reeling, and certainly this has not been some dream season of his, but they're in the damn playoff, and that you could see it in his face last night how big that thing was. They're going to Texas. I want to shout out to Aaron and Laura Garza of Royal Oak, Michigan. Laura went to Clemson. Aaron went to Texas. Good friends of mine. It's going to be an ugly month. It's going to be an ugly month. Pat, your thoughts on this matchup? Can Clemson do this? What do we think Texas is? Is Quinn Ewers the right quarterback? Where are we with this thing? Winner gets Arizona State.
I mean, this is there's two matchups here, I think, in particular that are intriguing this in the first round, but this is definitely one of them. Because does anybody really want to play Clemson in a do or die game? I don't think so. I mean, they're not a great team. We've seen it. Phil Moffa's playing hurt at running back. They don't have, that real punch in the running game, but they've got a blooming star receiver in Bryant Wesco, who tore up SMU. Cade Klubnik played very well against SMU. The defense is a Clemson defense. It's good. It's not like, one of the all-time great Clemson defenses, but it's good enough. And Texas, they're good, but they're not. I don't watch them and say, wow, that's a special team. That team could win a national championship. I watched them play a backup quarterback from the second half here and not win. Lose to a Georgia team that was struggling and didn't have its guy at quarterback there, and just, kind of budged its way down the field, and Quinn Ewers throwing the ball to the wrong team. So I think I'm picking Texas. But I think Texas needs to play better than it has several of the last times we've seen them play.
Yeah, this isn't. We talked about Texas's path, and getting to semis, being in Dallas. But when you just look at this one game, I agree. This is not the easiest matchup. I'm sure Texas would have probably preferred, I assume, to play SMU or like Indiana. And that's kind of why on my projected bracket, I actually had Clemson as the 11 seed and SMU as the 12 seed. And I know that was a lot for Clemson to move up. They just played on a neutral field.
One of them had
to move up. Right?
Yeah. One of the effing criteria that this committee is supposed to use, the second one, is head to head. And I know they look at the full body of work. I understand that. And I agree they should do that. But when you're within one loss of one another, when teams are within one loss of one another, like Clemson and SMU are, look to head ahead that just happened. And so I really think that SMU should have been the 12. And Clemson should have been the 11. That would have been Clemson going to Penn State and Texas playing SMU, because this is not a great draw for Texas. I would not, just like SMU's standpoint in the ACC championship game. There's a reason I picked Clemson to win. I mean, I wouldn't want to play Clemson and Dabo Swinney in any kind of playoff game where it's do or die. Absolutely not. I don't care if I got him at home. Or what? And the thing is, now this game's in Austin, I think in the middle of the day, right? Kickoff at 4, I think 4 o'clock. So,
local.
All right. So it's not like Clemson's going and playing some cold weather climate, right? So it should be cool maybe, but not cold. Yeah, look out. And they're rolling, man. I mean, Klubnik's playing really well. They've got a defense that up until the last quarter of that SMU game, played really well as well. And they got a kicker. My God.
Dude, they got a kicker. Clemson lost to South Carolina, but that was a good game. And South Carolina they had 3 losses. They could not get over Alabama and Ole Miss. And we talked about South Carolina's situation, but this is a really hot team late and playing great football. And I know Clemson lost the game, but it was 17-14. And I know it was at home and all that, but it wasn't like they got blown out by them. It's going to be a real interesting game. And I don't know where Texas is at the quarterback position. I don't know where Texas is with a bunch of stuff. So we'll see what the spread is before I'm sure there's some early spreads, but it'll move. All right. Tennessee.
Right now, Dan, I'll tell you the spread early. I think I saw some of it. I can hit these real quick. The early spreads are Texas is a 10-point favorite. Which seems really high. Another one that to me seems high, Ohio State is a 7-point favorite over Tennessee. Penn State is 8.5-point favorite over SMU. That one to me seems about right. And Notre Dame, 7.5-point favorite over Indiana. So some really big spreads, surprisingly big in Columbus and in Austin.